What up, 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 folks? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Man Up Live, virtual, in full effect. And my camera thing is on. Hold on, let me turn this off. Hold on, wait a minute. That's what you call live. There you go. Man, I am so honored to have you here today. I don't even want to waste time. My dude, that dude, my partner in crime and in praise. I keep saying it all the time. He know where the bodies are buried, but he helped me bury them. Ladies and gentlemen, Derwin Davis, the chairman of the bowe.
What's up? What's up, people? What's up, man? We're excited to be here this morning. And listen, we need you to share and tag. Now, this is Man Up Live, and I know some ladies are in the room. So welcome all the ladies that are in the room. You know a special man in your life, a brother, a significant other, your husband, your best friend, maybe the guy you're interested in, you're trying to vet him. Share, tag him.
That's good. That's good.
And we got to have that conversation today.
Hey, man, so I'm really excited about today's conversation because we're going to really delve into one of the vital pieces of feeling like you matter, feeling like you have a space, feeling like you are important, that you're needed.
Respect.
And respect it. That's good. We're going to talk about that today. But again, in the comment section, make sure that you make comments. Make sure you like the video. This Man Up Live is sponsored by Emory Healthy Brain Study. They are an incredible organization that is fighting Alzheimer's disease. And, of course, they are our primary sponsors, and we want to go take you to a video for them right now. And when we come back, we're going to talk that talk.
That talk.
Be right back. Black people, I think it's time for us to have a sobering conversation about Alzheimer's disease.
When we start talking about brain health in people of color, we know that African Americans, according to the Alzheimer's Association, are twice as likely to develop Alzheimer's as European Americans. We know that Latin Americans are 1.5 times as likely to develop Alzheimer's or related dementia. And it's like, well, why? Well, one of the things that's very common in communities of color is high blood pressure. There's a higher prevalence of high blood pressure. There's a higher prevalence of diabetes in these communities. And those are main risk factors, key risk factors for developing a brain dysfunction.
Black man, have you thought about what your end of life is going to be like?
When catastrophic things happen, somebody has to take care of you. If you had some kind of catastrophic illness where you couldn't feed yourself, you couldn't take care of yourself, you couldn't wipe your behind, who is in your orbit right now that you would designate to do that kind of activity? Would you trust them with all of your finances? Because the bad side of dementia is most of us arrive at a diagnosis of dementia and we haven't taken care of that.
We spend our lives as men taking care of so many people. Oftentimes, we don't take care of ourselves the way we should. But what happens when you can't take care of yourself? Who got you?
In an effort to further engage communities of color, we want to develop and establish a very firm partnership and relationship with the Man Up community. Hopefully, through this relationship, you will learn more about how to take care of yourself. Partnering with Man Up gives us an opportunity to help you stand up and be the leaders in our community that they have always been.
There are a lot of advances in technology as it relates to Alzheimer's disease. But why aren't Black people benefiting like other people?
What we learn in our research really depends on who helps us with this research. Today, in my clinical practice, I use a test to diagnose Alzheimer's disease. And the results of that test are interpreted based on research that was about 95% non-Hispanic white people. Well, guess what? The numbers are not the same for Black folks. And so I'm misdiagnosing patients based on results from a really important study that gave me results that apply perfectly to white people, but not to Black people. If we don't include people of all different races and ethnicities, gender, race, sex, in these studies, we can't draw conclusions that are necessarily relevant. There are not only race-based differences, but there are also sex-based differences. So if we solve these problems, these challenges in engaging people, but we still leave out a segment of our society, a segment of our population, if we can't engage Black men to participate, we can't draw conclusions about Black men. We may know more about Black women, You know, we focused on African Americans because we're here in Atlanta. This is the cultural center of Black America. And we have made great progress, but we need to do better with Black men.
That's why I am so elated that Man Up Community has partnered with Emory Healthy Brain Study. We need men, Black men, in your 50s and 60s to sign up for the study. When the need arises, real men show up. Can I count on you to do that? All right, so again, if you want more information, you can call this number, 404-672, 404-672-4052, 404-672-4052, Emory Healthy Brain Study. When we talk about Alzheimer's, I don't know if you know the impact or have been impacted by Alzheimer's, somebody with Alzheimer's disease. But it's a nasty, mean, evil
It's a journey
disease.
that we don't wish on families, and it's transformative, and sometimes good and bad. And especially in our community, it's becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah.
Especially as our seniors, and we have to be proactive by getting ahead, by doing the study, by doing the research. And I know there's a lot of apprehension to us in research and in our community.
Well, facts.
But it's something that we have to be willing to do the research and willing to protect ourselves, because it's changing. You know, Alzheimer's, dementia, all of these different things are becoming very prevalent.
Yeah.
And it can disrupt your life.
Well, the good thing I like about this study is that there's nothing that they're giving you. Okay, so what they really want to do is, because you can find out, there's a possibility to find out if you have like the traits of Alzheimer's and what have you. I don't I'm not a doctor on this, so you're going to call that number to get the information. But you can find out up to 20 years in advance.
Wow.
As to whether or not Alzheimer's is going to see something.
That means that a family has 20 years to prepare.
There you go.
And put things
Great way to say it, brother. Great way to say it.
Emotionally, structurally, relocation-wise, and that's priceless, because many times people find out a family member has Alzheimer's and their whole world is thrown upside, and they're thrown into caregiving without preparing for it.
Facts.
So make that call.
Facts. And so again, 404-672-4052. Again, it's nothing that they're giving you. They're not giving you or inserting anything into you. They're getting information so that they can help better study Black people and just people with Alzheimer's in general. The problem is that a lot of Black men have not signed up for it, and I get it. I get it. But if there's anything I can tell you is, number one, I vetted this organization well. And I'm not going to be a part of anything that's going to put us in a negative situation. That's number one. And then number two, it really blessed me to know that they're not giving you anything. They're not putting anything into your system. This is not an injection. I mean, it's none of that. It's a cognitive test. There's a battery of tests so they can understand what is going on and why certain things happen. So it's an important test. And so they partnered with us because of our connection in. All right? Man, let's jump into this one. So shouts out to, real quick, Robert Smith, what up? Alan Chavez, with the schwa on the name. Alan Frank Davis, what up? What up, Frank?
What's up, bro?
Yeah. Tanette Cooper, good morning to you. Danisha Moore, good morning. Hi, she's right there. Good morning. Deezy, you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
Right? Can you explain it as a teacher better than I can, perhaps?
Well, I want to say the best I can. It's just simple. People have needs.
Yes.
And if their needs are not met, they're going to be off the scale.
Yeah.
Something is going to be wrong. And so before you can reach a person, before you can teach a person, before you can connect with a person, you have to meet their needs. If I'm hungry,
basic
and you're trying to activate something, we got to feed that. If there's something wrong, you have to meet the need before you can implant a seed or move forward. So that's simply, you got needs.
Facts. We're talking about hunger. We're talking about the need to feel secure.
Yep.
If it's raining outside, you don't want to feel uncomfortable. You don't want to be wet. You want to make sure that, that basically your level needs of comfort are in place. But there's another one, and it is the need to be seen.
Yeah.
Seen, heard, and understood.
Yeah.
Those are basic needs that every human being needs. Basic needs.
Yeah.
Seen, heard, and understood. And valued. Let's say valued. So all of that is when I say to the brothers, hey man, I see you. Yeah. Let me tell you what happened. You know Obi, right? Obi Ndu, my Nigerian brother. Obi's that dude, right? So when I first interviewed him, Obi was like, say bro, after the interview, he said, say bro, yo, I see you.
Yeah.
He said, I see you. Now, I don't know what that I see you meant. I didn't know at the time.
But you felt it.
But I felt it.
Yeah.
He said, I see you.
Yeah.
It was as if of all the stuff that I'm doing, you didn't see what I do.
Yeah. You see who I am, see where I am.
Yeah.
Where I'm at.
You don't see how I show. You see me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times as brothers, often we attach our value to what we do. We attach our value.
I call it the waistline, the tool belt, the pockets.
Oh, take me there because you're real good with that. Hey man, listen, y'all need to get in on this. Share this with somebody. We're going deep today. Oh, we're going deep today. We ain't got that long, but we're going deep today.
So I learned this a long time ago, and even with my own self, is that men often define themselves by their waistline, meaning their occupation, their tool belt.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
They define themselves by the waistline, their pockets. I'm a man if I got a lot of money, or I'm not a man if I'm lacking.
Yeah.
They define themselves by their sex life. It's the waistline.
Sexual prowess.
You know what I'm saying? Then they define themselves by, how they're able to feed, what hungers them. So I call it that waistline thing. Here's the difference though. And we're talking about this with the brain. When we realize we're not our profession, we're not our money, we're not our sex life, we're not our hungers, we are man. And when we understand that fully in heart, mind, and soul, we have to be careful that we don't allow our waistline to define us or orchestrate a life for us.
So the other question becomes this. You said we are a man, all right? So we tend to make them the same, what I do and who I am. Yeah. So what does a man do? Now I know if I do that, then I'm a man. What does a man provides for his family. Yeah. A man provides security. A man protects women. A man protects children. A man does.
Those are job descriptions.
Come on.
That's not the person.
Come on, I want to drill into that. Those are not.
Because you can do those well and be depressed. You can do those well and feel unvalued, disrespected.
Yeah.
You can do those well and feel, you can be successful in your profession or your actions and still feel something that's not there. And one of the hardest things for me is learning how to separate myself from what I did versus who I am.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor. I'm a mortgage banker. I was a teacher. I'm a musician. I'm a thinker, consultant. That's what I do. That's not who I am.
And we have to break this down, and I want to be very clear that we got to break this down, because when you have the ideology that what I do is tied to my value or tied to my worth, then there's a part of you that feels you don't matter unless you're doing what men do.
Or it's on top.
So, with that being said, for that man that's saying, well, I mean, I ain't never really thought about that because I've always been able to, do certain things. I've always been able to show up a certain way.
Yeah.
But what happens when life happens and you're not able to show up and do what you typically do? All right, let me go a little deeper. First of all, your worth takes a hit.
Yeah.
Often your worth takes a hit. Also, some of us say a good man does this. A good man doesn't cheat. A good man doesn't not show up. A good man, and so when you don't do what a good man does, or you said a good man does, now you're wondering, am I still a man? Am I still a solid man? Am I still a worthy man? Am I still a valuable man? Well, the first thing that we have to do, and I want to be very clear on this, is why I'm drilling down, that when you tie who you are to what you do, you have now made a critical error, and you got to fix that. Don't get me wrong. There are attributes of a good man. There are attributes of a solid man. There are respectable traits of a good, solid man. But who you are cannot be defined by what you do. Who you are can only be defined by the person who made you. Now we about to go deep.
Yeah. And you know, man, I learned this lesson extremely hard because at the best year of things in my life, the finances, the influence, seemed like I'm excelling in my professions.
Yeah.
I felt the worst. And when people would be like, you know, folks would be congratulating you, man, you know, things happening for you. And I remember during those years, me being inwardly depressed. I got very bitter about showing up to work because that's the first time I learned through the pain of the moments that what I do was not who I am. And even though I can do that well, I'm not well.
Wow.
Even though I can make it happen, you start to see that what you do and make it happen has nothing to do with who you are. And if you grow in who you are, and you become solid in who you are, what you do is going to go to another level because you're doing this because of who you are. I am Derwin Davis. I do those things. I serve in those roles. I have callings to those. But because I'm Derwin Davis, I'm God's child. I know my purpose. I help people win in life. If I lose 100,000, I'm good because I'm still Derwin Davis.
Yeah.
If I grow, I'm good because I'm still Derwin Davis. I'm going to feed him. I'm going to grow him. I'm going to mature him. And now it's an ability to move. I'm able to decipher people who want to be around because of this versus me.
Well, you know, let me tell you what's present to me, man. And what's present to me is that I feel the need to stay here because it's like you can decide, you can choose which direction you're going to go. The chooser, the decider is always greater than the decision to. Okay, all right.
Say that one more time.
The chooser or the decider is always the one that is in the power position.
Yeah.
All right? What you did came after what you chose to do. Okay? Now let me go here. The Bible talks about this. The steps of a
Good man.
are what?
Ordered
by the Lord. And he does what? Delights in his way. So the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. And do you know which because I remember the scripture.
You good.
Okay. So the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his path. All right? The next scripture says, the very next verse, after it says, a good man, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So let's stop there. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So what's more important? Is it the steps or is it the fact that God called this man good? The good man, okay, watch this. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. So you would think that it is the steps that makes God delight in the man. God delights in the man because he's a good man. Why is he a good man? Because God said he was a good man. Because the next scripture says this, though he falls.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Wait. You said the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. So you said, though he falls. Though he falls. So how does a good man fall?
You know, the whole time you were thinking through this, I got to David. Because good men often fall, because of their internal conversation.
Did the fall make him bad?
No, the fall never makes him bad. As a matter of fact, and this is, he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. Chastisement of our peace was upon him. By his stripes we were healed. He was wounded. Wound get taking place in the hospital for our transgressions. Transgressions takes place in the courtroom. If you do something wrong, you go to court, you get a sentence. He was bruised, hospital, for our iniquities. Again, wrong, courtroom.
Wow.
So when I look at that, I see hospital and courtroom. When I see the two transactions together, that God deals with the hospital of the healing and the courtroom of the transactions. Therefore, watch this. Every time there's a wrongdoing, it affects the hospital. Every time there's an issue in the courtroom, it creates a wound. Therefore, when a person sins or a person has been sinned against, there's a wound. So is sin simply a homemade medication to your wound? So I'm drinking. I'm a good man, but is my drinking the medication to my wound?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And often a lot of us are around here trying to anesthetize
Absolutely.
wounds that have happened, not because we just like the anesthesia. We just don't want to feel
It's the identity.
pain. We don't want to feel the hurt. So what we do is we do what we can, whether it is recreational situations, we do what we can to make sure that the voices stop, that the pain stops.
I'm a musician, and something happened started at the top of like 2012, is that I realized I was using my musicianship to hide my own personal insecurities.
Say more.
That I loved the stage and I loved performing because I felt like that was valued because I wasn't. So my profession
All right.
and my activities became the medication of validation because of my own insecurities.
And let me tell you the problem with that. Because I was the same way. The problem with that is that people are going to clap for you.
Yeah.
And they have no idea that the way you are succeeding in one area is because it's really just an anesthesia for another.
And so and you know this, what ends up happening is you start turning in your mind that people love what I do. They don't love me because they don't know me.
Okay.
They don't see me.
Okay.
They don't know what I'm experiencing.
Okay.
And so you learn to show up and perform in whatever area, and you do that well. Do you know how many men show up and do it well, but they've checked out?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, that's why you got shitters right
Yeah.
now. Do you know how many husbands have really checked out, but they still show up well and they're a good father, good husband? You know how many men can have sex and check out? Do you know how many men can do great things and they've technically are off the scene?
Yeah. You're moving basically off in with automatic mode.
Oh, it's automatic mode and it's also performance.
Yeah.
As men, and I say this, and some people may not agree, men are more emotional than women.
You know, we had that conversation yesterday, and I wasn't sure if that was an accurate statement.
It's just my thoughts. I'm gonna put it like that.
But I see where you're going with it.
Because men can have a four-wheel drive in their emotions.
Yeah.
They have an emotion that they can present to one, but really feel inwardly. Sometimes when ladies mad, everybody know they mad. When lady got a problem, she's probably gonna show it. A man can have a problem and it not show. That's why, you know, we as men, children, are taught, hey man, wipe that. Don't do this. Don't cry. Don't show any type of emotion. It has nothing to do with femininity. God gave us all the gift of the emotions. And the emotions are the dashboard to our hearts.
Yeah.
So it lets us know when our tank.
The emotions are the dashboard of our heart.
Absolutely. It lets us know when our tank is full. It lets us know when we're empty. It lets us know when our RPM is up. And so a man that's not connected into his emotions don't really know what's technically taking place.
But the reason why we hide our emotions and the way we don't show our emotions is because we feel as though people, by and large, don't care about how we feel. That they care about is how we make them feel. Did I say that? Am I making sense?
Time.
In the chat. Do y'all get that?
One more again, Bo.
People, by and large, when you think about men, when we think about ourselves, we don't think that people care about how we feel because they don't matter how you feel. Still need to get done.
Right.
It don't matter how you feel. You need to show up. People don't care about how we feel, so that's what we think. They care about how we make them feel. And so what happens is when we have our moments in which, quite frankly, I'm scared. Quite frankly, hey man, I'm confused. quite frankly, you know what I'm saying, I don't get it. Quite frankly, I don't know.
Yeah.
And when you don't get the rewards
Yeah.
that come from knowing, having, and being, all right, then we do this other thing called fronting. And we act like we do. We act like we know. We act like we have it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying one of the greatest things, my brother, as I say I see you, one of the greatest things that you can do is you can surround yourself with a community of men
Yeah.
that will be able to see you. Not what you do. Not what you do. Matter of fact, watch this. Matter of fact, in the comment section, I wonder who would be brave enough to say who you are. Now, let me take some things off of the table. I'm not talking about your profession. I'm not talking about what people know you by. I'm not talking about your claim to fame. I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, unless you have a mirror, you don't know.
You said the mirror. One of the.
You can't see yourself. You don't know what the color of your eyes are unless you got a mirror.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. It's funny.
Take me there, because I know you're going to go there.
This mirror thing has always fascinated me. Do you know water has the reflection of a mirror? That if the sun is hitting the water right and you stand up on it, it gives you reflection. So watch this. What we wash ourselves with reflects who we are first.
Ooh.
That's the anatomy of water. The other thing is, because I thought about this. I mean, mirror is technically made of glass, and there's some lead and some things behind. I mean, some materials. I don't want to say what it is, because I may have some scientists that can explain it in the comment section.
Yeah.
But it has a reflective mechanism behind the glass that allows you to see.
Yeah.
But that is something that's man-made. But God, the first mirror, technically has this reflection. Okay? So he gives us this, and it allows us to wash.
Yeah.
When we see ourselves, we can now wash.
Yeah.
When we see ourselves, we can now drink.
Yeah.
When we see ourselves, we can hydrate.
Yeah.
When we see watch this, we are 70% of water. Yeah. When we see ourselves, we understand more who we are and how that functions. Here's the problem. As men, we don't get to see ourselves. You only see yourself when someone else can see you.
You know what a reflection is? A reflection, is the word for, it's the Latin word for, oh Lord, it's like a duplicate.
Yeah.
It is, oh my goodness, I just had it. It's a reflection is like a response. It's a duplicate. As in duplicate. So response, reflection. So when we say you got to have somebody to see you, you got to have somebody that is going to give you the mirror of what they see from a whole perspective. Okay? Let me go there. Because sometimes we have defined ourselves from the reflection that other people have given us, but the mirror was dirty.
Or the mirror was broken.
Right. One of them clown mirrors.
Right.
Sometimes we see life through the filter of our experiences. And sometimes if a person's experience has been one in which, hey man, all men do this, or some people do that, they have different forms of hurt. They see you through that lens of hurt.
Yeah.
They see you through that lens of pain.
Yeah.
So when you have a community of dudes around you, and it's not everybody, all right, you feel me? It's not everybody. You have people who will tell you the truth. So for me, I got people like Mike Gamble.
Yeah.
Who will say to me, through the lens of experience, through the lens of wisdom, hey, Bo, you good?
Yeah.
He look, you know how Mike does. Look in your eye. Hey, you all right?
Yeah.
you good?
Mike's that dude.
Mike, look at me. You good?
Yeah.
All right.
Because they can see you.
Bro, they can see you. Not what you do.
Yeah.
Because Michael say, hey, man, you're doing as good as you look. Because Michael say, hey,
wow.
He's like, hey, man.
Are you doing as good as you look?
He's like, I see all this.
That's an evaluative question. I wish we had a graphic designer to create us a lower third. Throw it on the screen right now. Are you as good as you look right now? Let's everybody take 20 seconds and evaluate that. Let's sit in. Moment of silence. Wow. Are you as good as you look?
I'm telling you, when we talk about this whole piece of seeing each other, if you, sir, did not see me, now what I do, again, I'm drilling home, I get it, but see me for who I am. You also know when I'm being authentic and when I'm not being authentic. You know when that laugh is a laugh of nervousness, and you also know when that laugh is a laugh of pain. You also know when I'm saying something just to be saying it because I'm afraid. And you also know when I'm like, hey man, I do need some help. Because sometimes, let's go to relationships here. Let me holler at you, dog. So sometimes we'll say something, and we have a moment of trying to be vulnerable. Hey, you know what? When you said that, it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. Now, when you hear that, look at me. When you hear that, you got one or two options you can make. You can say, "Yo, I didn't know that." Male or female? Yeah, I didn't know that, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know I was out there like that. Or you can say, "Dang, that hurt your feelings." Let me tell you what a guy gonna do. You ready? He gonna be like, "Nah, you ain't hurt my feelings. I'm good. No, I'd be talking sometime, but no, I'm good. I'm straight. And Operation Shutdown begins immediately. Because when a person shows you their vulnerable parts, it is that moment that you have to be very, very diligent to make sure that you don't have the abrasiveness that some of us have, which is why you can't show your vulnerable parts to everybody. Because some people don't know how to handle your heart with care. Because what they'll do is say, "Yo, you did that, man, just stop. I decided to quit smoking, and I just quit." But that's not your story.
But that's why it's important to be in a community of men that you can be vulnerable with.
Yeah, man.
And I can say this so hard. I never knew that I didn't come to Man Up thinking I'm gonna be what am I?
Yeah.
I came to Man Up when my life was broken.
Facts.
And outwardly, it looked great. Outwardly, things were accelerating. Inwardly, it was problems.
So let me ask you this.
Go.
Why then would a person fix what's not broken? Because some people say, I ain't got to do all that.
Here's the problem. Sometimes people think that they don't have nothing broken. They just haven't been around people who can see it.
Y'all don't hear this. Y'all don't hear this.
I mean,
Y'all don't hear this.
there's a whole lot of stuff, we've taught Man Up certified classes. We've taught all this.
Yeah.
But being around authentic men and brothers, they will, in a brotherly way, call you on stuff that you didn't even know was stuff.
Yeah.
That's when you know you got somebody that see you.
Yeah.
And we talked about Mike Gamble. You got Maurice. You got Will. You know what I'm saying? You got Ron. There's all kind of, when you get around, brothers will call you on stuff that you don't even know that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's numerous times that I've been in the fellowship with bros that they would say something and would have to make me go back. Is that what I'm giving off?
And depending on the person, because somebody could say it and they tone be wrong and you miss the total moment. Because you thinking, the audacity. You worse than me.
Yeah, but that's the whole part about being seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to remember we live, but
You ready, Mike?
Yeah. It's nothing like a person who's went through stuff seeing you as you're starting to go through it.
Yeah. It's a level of empathy that's there.
It's a level of empathy that's there, but it's also the wisdom to how to navigate that stuff.
Let me tell you something. That's the reason why you got to have people that are near the cross and people that's a little distant from the cross, but they respect it.
But also,
are you feeling what I'm saying? You tracking?
I'm with you 100%.
Because there's some folks I will not open up to because you were a little bit too clean. You don't got no real. You a knight in shining armor. My armor ain't shiny.
I tell you,
I've been in enough battles, man. I got some scuffs on my joints.
Say it all the time. Everybody's full of it. The bathroom proves it. I meant we're human.
Yeah.
There are some people that have got it better. There's some people that have flushed it. There's some people that are matured. But I don't care who you are, there's some level of something that you've had to grow in.
Yeah.
And in that human awareness, I just don't like people who act like they got it all together or act like they've always had it together, even if they got it together.
Yo, DZ, the truth.
I mean, I'm just, because when it's bros and
dudes know,
when they can tell you, hey man, you know, there's some areas in my life that have gotten tremendously better, and I can say they're better. But it take anything that's moving in life, it takes maintenance.
Yeah, man.
Anything that's on the road, it takes maintenance. My car is good, but if I don't maintain it, if I don't rotate the tires, if I don't change the oil, it'll break down.
Yeah.
So people that talk like that say, hey, man, I'm in a good place now, but if I don't keep working on this thing, it's going to go left. Those are the people I can connect with.
Yeah.
People that present me something that is picture, that is stage, I can't connect with that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel authentic.
Well, it's not. It's fake.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I really, really hit something, if I really, really go through something, can I really come to you and say what it is?
Yeah.
And that's the thing of having someone that can see you. Bro, when somebody see you, man, they can say 2 words to you, and it's just like, hey, it changes everything.
And you know the tough part about being seen in today's culture is that we have all of these systems that are in place to block people from seeing who you really are. All these filters. Imagine we're walking into a world where the idea of what beauty is, the idea of what reality is, all these reality shows that ain't real, that's scripted. It's not real. You got producers that's running into Ace. I bet you won't say this to her. Say this to her because she was talking about you, da-da-da-da. All that stuff ain't real. It's not real. We're living in a virtual world. We're trying to have a real experience in basically a virtual world because everybody respects that virtual space. It's the filter effect, bruh.
And then it goes even deeper. Real and truth are 2 different things. A lie can be real.
And then there's that.
A lie can be real. Some of
that.
us live real lies.
Yeah.
Truth makes us free.
Yeah.
And you know, all of these ideologies of what we should do, how we should do it. You know, one of the greatest lessons that I had to get over is my own expectations of what I thought it was. Because sometimes your expectations of what you think you should be or where you think you should be at is causing you and is robbing you of where you are and how far you've come.
And those expectations have been set oftentimes by something, man, outside of you that ain't even real.
Absolutely.
So when I talk about being seen, here's where I'm going with this now. All right. So one of the things that we have to work on today, and those of you that have some questions or whatever, you can put them in the chat, and we'll get to them in a moment. But there are men that are afraid to be seen. They're afraid to be seen.
That's been from the beginning.
They're afraid to be seen because. All right, let me just go deep here.
Get it.
Let me go deep.
Get it, man.
All right. So, one of my personal challenges. I want to dance so bad. I want to dance so bad.
Come on, man.
One of my personal challenges is taking away the attachment of what I do to who I am. Because the challenge is, but what I do is good. What I do helps people. What I do is amazing. The praise that I get is for good stuff. I'm not out here wilding. I'm not out here doing nothing crazy. It's all good. But there is also a thing where you attach your value and your worth
and your identity
to that if you can't do it, if you can't do the philanthropy, if you can't do the good that God put on your heart to do you still have value? Are you still worthy? Are you still worthy of respect? When you as a man have a desire to take care of your family, but you can't do it, do you still deserve respect? Can I come down your boulevard?
Yeah.
When you as a man don't know how to properly love your wife, your kids, show up, show affection, you know you got the desire to do it, but the model was just never shown to you. Are you still worthy of respect? Can you still be in the pantheon of good dudes. So, but when somebody sees you, when I say I see you, I'm not saying to you, we're not saying to you that should be attached to us saying I see you because of what you do. I'm saying I see you because of who you are. Now, let's dig into that. As a man,
Yeah.
to be seen, what do we desire to be seen for?
Well, many times as men, and I'm going to call it the elementary stages, we talked about it earlier, we want to be seen for our tool belt.
Okay,
We buy attire,
gotcha.
we buy toys,
Yep.
we want this to be seen.
Things that's
because
going to give us respect,
that represents some absolute
value,
yeah,
praise.
and clout.
Okay, good. Okay,
Because
good.
that right there.
We got that part. Let me pivot to the next question. What do we desire to be seen for? We just said it. But what being seen really means
Totally different. So
is who
you are.
you truly
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Now let's go down here. Who you truly, truly are. Outside of
Yeah.
what you can do, outside of the right that you did. Can you still are you still okay with being seen when you think that what they're going to see is grimy? When you think that what they're going to see is not righteous but ratchet? Are you okay with still allowing yourself to be seen even when you think that those that are looking at you are not going to like what they see?
I'm going to bring a part of a private conversation publicly.
Okay.
My pastor, my bishop. I'm a pastor, but I have a pastor and bishop. Our relationship changed when my life fell apart.
Okay.
One,
Yeah, I see
because he saw me.
Yeah.
The second thing is when he saw me, I had to be at a place, because when you got things going well publicly,
Yeah.
and things are broken privately,
Yeah.
it puts you at this discontent, and you actually kick up your acting.
Ooh-wee.
So at this season, he used to say the statement, "Come home." And the first time he said it,
Oh, my God.
wow.
Oh, my God.
The first time he said it,
Boy, that just hit me.
I said, "What?" He said, "Son, you can always come home." I called him a week later and I said, "Dad, I'm coming home." Got in my car, drove to Nashville where he lives, Metro Nashville area, got in the house. It's about 11 o'clock. He was waiting on me. We sat on the sofa and we talked. I was in the city. I wasn't there to be seen by nobody else, not the business, just so he could see me. Now, this is what he said. We talked about what was going on, and then he said this statement. He said, "Son, I got a problem. Tell you why I got a problem." He said, "I feel that you're more mad about where it happened versus what happened."
Oh, he sees you. Oh, he saw you.
He was reading me. He saw me. He saw something I never seen. And when watch this, when he said it, anger, hurt, all this rose up.
Something ran across that
And
wound.
when he hit it, he said, "You more mad about where it happened versus what has happened." And he said, "I got a problem with it. I don't know if you do." And I laid down, I went to bed. And when I woke up, I realized, you know what? He was 1,000% right, because where it happened, that's where my identity was.
Yeah.
And I got up in the morning, walked around this neighborhood, and I went home. I drove into Nashville at night, left by 6 o'clock, got there about 10, 11. We talked, 12, went to sleep, woke up 7 o'clock. I got home, and as I hit the city limits, I first realized in my life that my value was based off where I was and what I was doing, not who I am. And God allowed certain things to go down to attack that to make me switch that.
Let me say this. Let me talk directly to a dude that's listening right now. You have people in your life that are affirming you to the best of their ability, but they're ineffective with their affirmation, not because of them, but because of you. You've made an agreement, and an agreement is a contract that we've made with our hearts and our minds about what something is. And you've made an agreement about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You did something bad.
Yep.
You ain't bad though, dog.
Yep.
Let me tell you what the difference between guilt and shame is. Guilt is I did something wrong. Shame is I am wrong.
Because of what I did.
Because of what I did. And and not even because of what I did. I did it because I'm wrong.
Yes.
I'm naturally and intrinsically this kind of person. And for whatever way you want to fill in the blanks, and I'm saying this to you, one of the greatest and strongest things that you can do. Let me tell you, if I'm talking to you, let me tell you this. When somebody says to you, yo, man, yo, you smart. For a second, you appreciate it. But for the rest of it, you fight it. Something in you made an agreement that somebody told you, yeah, the other kids are smart, but you ain't really, I don't depend on him to be smart. I depend on him to be strong. You made an agreement that was true. For the person for the person that comes to you and says, you are one of the most beautiful people I know. And for a second, you believe it.
Absorb it, then you flush it.
And then the rest of the time you're like, nah. And if they press hard enough to try to take from you the agreement that you made, there's something in you, like you said, rises up. It's anger that rises up because you mad that they are violating an agreement, a contract that you made with you. And I'm saying to you today, one of the strongest things you can do is to have the courage to break that agreement.
Yeah.
I want you to break that agreement. Let me tell you who you are, dog. You ain't a dog, first of all. That's how I talk. Y'all flow with me here. You're a creator and a cultivator. God created you to be powerful, to be what this world needs.
Fruitful and multiply.
We ain't got enough time. We ain't got enough time to go down that.
No.
God, one of the first commandments that God gave man was to be fruitful and multiply. He didn't say be seedful.
Fruitful.
He said be fruitful because it is already assumed that seed is inside.
Yep.
Amen. He said be fruitful. So it's the thing. He didn't say be seedful. He didn't say I got to create some seeds. No, you have to have the mindset to be okay with taking your isness and who you authentically are and changing culture, changing your family, changing your block, changing your hood, and being the kind of dude that God originally created you to be. Hey, man, you effective for somewhere. You are effective for somebody. There is a specific avenue, boulevard, that's got your name written all over it. I've been having a recurring dream.
Yeah.
All right? Oh, man, I ain't said it publicly. I'm trying to figure this. So my recurring dream is this. There's this house, and it's a house that I own. And in this house, there's a hidden room.
Yeah.
And in this hidden room, it's always hard to get to.
Right.
Like some rickety steps, you got to jump across something or whatever. It's a big old room. And in this room, I understand that the value of the house is attached to how dope this room is. And so sometimes in this recurring dream, I say, I forget that I even got this room. And I have to either in the attic or the basement or something. And it's tough to get to it. You got to get through some kind of hole or some kind of crazy steps or whatever. But when you get into it, you say, man, this is dope. Okay, so watch this. When I get in the room is always with the greatest, nicest stuff, but the stuff is just slightly outdated.
Whoa.
Now, you know I looked up this dream.
Yep.
It basically means that for me, there is a part of me that I have not delved into, the most valuable part of me that I have not delved into, and it's difficult for some reason for me to get to it because I forget, DZ, that it's there. And I'm saying to you, my brother, my sister, just watch, your brilliance, your amazingness, the thing that makes you have value, was already there from the beginning. All you got to do is cultivate it.
This week has been unique. I saw some, getting ready for some branding initiatives, so I was cleaning up social media stuff.
Yeah.
I went back to when I was living in Dunwoody 12 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 2011, 2012. Outside of my apartment was a fig tree.
A fig tree?
Fig tree, outside of apartment. And to the point that the fig tree literally like used to talk to me, to the point that I would stop often, daily, and pick a leaf because I felt like God was saying something. I did not get it until 2015.
Okay.
Adam hid himself with fig leaves.
Wow.
And when I started this process of being me, I realized God was telling me, because that's when I was building the life that I currently got to, and then that life crashed.
Yeah.
That I was chasing fig leaves versus being who I am.
Wow.
And the problem that every man has is that his fig leaf is different. It's whatever he hides behind, because of either what he's done or he's messed up. Not realizing that when Adam hid, he made a mistake. He messed up. But the lamb was slain before the foundation of the world. God was still chasing him, but he was sowing fig leaves and hiding. And this is a time that as men, regardless of our mistakes, regardless of our past, that we're bold enough to take off our fig leaves and be authentically in who we are and be seen so we can go to the next level. And I know it's a lot in this, man. We talked about comments and stuff.
We got so much that we got to get into, and I want those of you who are just maybe joining us, you're new with this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course, but go to manupcommunity.org. Not only do we have some initiatives, we're going to bring Man Up Live back. Man Up Live will be back in person, and it will be co-ed. Now, let me tell you what I mean by co-ed. This is Atlanta, and if we open it up to the amazing sisters that's on, y'all take over the thing. So we got a 50%. you can't come no more than 50%. 50% women, 50% men. And so we'll make sure that we're registered. So to be a part of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, subscribe to manupcommunity.org. And are there any questions in the chat? I'm not even looking at it, man. Something you said really messed me up.
You know, we have someone. If you got a question, we have someone here with us that can read your question. We want to dive in maybe about 2 or 3. I know we're tight for time. Any questions we have?
Damon, I know your mind is rolling. You got something? I got a microphone over there if you wanted to ask. So, but I do want to hear from you, because when I think about people who I allow to see me, I said I allow to see me. I give them the real me.
Ooh.
It's people that I trust that can handle that version of me. And for me, this is my dude. So you got something, Damon?
No, man, you guys have blessed me with what you brought up.
You're an engineer. You're a worldwide producer. You don't want to get in the mic. That's what we're doing.
I was just saying that you guys blessed me already with what you guys have done, so I don't have nothing to add. But
okay, because you chocolate anyway. I can't really see on there. I did a darkness. Everybody darkness. Okay. You got a question? All right.
This is question. Go ahead.
They said, get in the microphone so we can hear. And we may not be able to see you, but we can.
That's fine. Yeah, you ain't got to see me. They said, what are your thoughts on expressing your feelings when you're hurt? Willis Moody says that.
Well,
what up, Will? What up, Will?
So I first think when you're expressing your thoughts when you're hurt, you need to have a safe place to express your thoughts. How many of y'all, it's become very popular on social media, the bursting of pimples.
I can't watch that
you're
mess.
seeing cows getting. So you got to have somebody that can handle when it's messy.
Yeah.
So one thing that I'm glad about with having bros, or the bros in the community, is that when I'm feeling some type of way, I get to give them the rawness, so I can get the pus out and the infection out, so I can really deal with the healing. Expressing thoughts, and it's pussy, it's gonna get messy. You gotta have some people in your life that, hey man, when I'm feeling this way, I can have that conversation to sort out what it is, because sometimes it's you, sometimes it's them, sometimes it's both.
Which is why it's important to have people see you, because there's a difference between you hurt me and I was hurt. You feel me?
Absolutely.
There's a difference.
Absolutely.
Because I say this all the time, man. Because it's true. We give meaning to things.
Correct.
And what I meant gets filtered through my experiences, and I say what you said meant.
Absolutely.
I say what you did meant. But sometimes what you said and what you did didn't mean what I think you said or
Absolutely.
did. Sometimes it's something else. So which is why when you expressing yourself, you do need to vent to somebody that can handle it.
Right.
But also somebody that can say, okay, so you're seeing it as a 6. Oh, my brother, I'm seeing it as a 9.
Right.
I'm on a different side. Mm-hmm. You think it's an E, I say it's a 3. I'm seeing it from a different side. It's different. You feel me?
Yeah, not only that, sometimes when you got to discuss your hurt, the first time you get it out to that crew, I'm going to say it a different way. I have learned that certain people can't handle the fullness like that. I call it that sriracha.
Ooh. Okay.
That
so
tone.
I know we got to run.
I know.
But you got to give me that.
So
give him the rundown.
So I got some brothers that I can give it to them raw how I feel it. Because as a man, I need to get that out. The sriracha, the testosterone, the fullness of it. How I feel about it, I can talk it to them and they can handle it.
Yep.
Once I get it out, then we can go ahead or vomit, whatever we will call it.
Yep.
Then we can go ahead and dissect that
Yep.
and deal with now what are we going to respond,
Yeah.
how are we going to go about it. As a brother, if you don't ever have that person that you can go out and say it what it is, you maybe can't talk to your wife, your children, your spouse, your coworkers, your business or your strategy. You got to have that inner circle that can handle you in your raw stage.
Okay.
So that you stay refined externally.
So it's not even just that.
Right.
But it's handling not just the fruit, but the root.
Absolutely.
Because the fruit don't look like the root in many cases.
Absolutely.
And sometimes if you're replying or you're responding to the fruit, you may be ineffective to the root. Sometimes some things that they say, it had bite on it.
Yeah.
But the reason why they said it was something that was far more delicate
Right.
than how it came out.
And a multitude of counsel their safety.
Anger is really a byproduct of fear.
Or hurt.
Or hurt. So it showed up as anger. But in fact, if you get to the root of it, your feelings were hurt.
I say that all the time. Anger.
And you can't say that to everybody, by the way, because sometimes when we think about your feelings hurt, you calling me soft. So you call me soft? Okay, so we got to watch how we say it. You feel me? So we got to make sure that even as we are dealing with people, we deal with them, the Bible says, according to knowledge. I got to walk with you according to knowledge. Anything else, I want to make sure we do that. And make sure, let me get that Emory graphic back on the lower third, the Emory lower third back up there, because I want people to know and understand what's up with that.
There's this one question. You see where Elva May? Ask that. Let's deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Elva May is here.
Okay, so
Get in that microphone.
Where's the question? Oh, I see it. She says, "What do men value more, respect or love?"
Oh, that's a good one. But it's hands down, it's going to be respect.
yeah.
Respect. Hands down, respect.
Here's the thing.
Hands down, respect.
It's respect, but because there's women and men in the room. Respect is a quarter. There's a heads and a tail to it. It's a value.
Yeah, it's a coin. Yeah, right.
So if you respect me, you love me.
So we see love through the lens of respect,
Absolutely, it's the quarter.
and women see respect through the lens of love. So when we say that men, by and large, we don't get married for love.
Absolutely not.
Now, that'll crack some souls when you say that. You know, hey man, I ain't married because of love,
I can love.
and have loved. Huh? Is the cameras on?
Turner said, "What's love got to do with it?"
But it has a lot to do with it as it relates to women, by and large. By and large.
I understand that, but it's not love that keeps you together.
Yeah.
There's so many people that love each other that are divorced.
It's the proper application of love that really does keep you together.
And it's also it gets into the love languages. It gets into understanding what is respect. It's also and I like to say, what you say and what you do is not what the other people hear. It's the calibration. Because you may speak something in one language and they hear it in another.
All right, DZ, give me the rundown. Cause we got to. If y'all can give us till till 11:10, we'll be up out of here. So watch this. When you talk about all the different type of sauces, but they ain't but a few meats. Talk about it.
Okay, so I like to say this here. When you're having a conversation with people say things, and a mature listener, I'm going to go to food. A mature listener understands that there's limited amount of proteins, but there's thousands of sauces.
Facts.
So there's protein, there's chicken, there's seafood, there's fish, there's beef, there's, it's just really maybe 5, maybe 6 because of all this kind of stuff. The sauces may be different. There may be ranch. There's 1,000 sauces. A lot of times when people say something to us, it's the sauce that we don't like.
It wasn't the meat of it. It wasn't the protein.
I don't like teriyaki.
Yeah.
I don't like name some other sauce. Ginger,
Sriracha?
But sometimes, somebody's upset. They got a whole lot of sriracha on it. A mature person understands that, guess what? I can dismiss the sriracha to understand what's the meat of this conversation.
Come on, say it again, dog.
And that's maturity.
Say it again, dog.
So now love is getting to a point that I may present something in sriracha, but because I love you, I'm going to learn how to cook this for you in teriyaki.
Or deliver it to you.
I'm going to put this on the plate to you. I'm going to put my meat in your sauce that you like.
Well, okay, got you. Okay, got you. All right. I mean, I'm not all the way mature, so you got to walk with me, Lord. Walk with me, Lord.
Y'all got to rev my here. Y'all start laughing. I didn't realize what I said, but I'm just saying, I'm going to put the protein on right.
And watch this. And because I love you, how you deliver it to me in sriracha, I will have grace for it because you're showing up to me in your most authentic way.
Right.
Because you typically bring it to me in the sauce that I need.
Absolutely.
But based on the situation, you're upset, you're frustrated.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm going to have a little grace for some sriracha.
Absolutely. And because I love you, I'm willing to eat that and digest it because that was in your authentic form.
Yeah.
And that shows you I'm here, I'm able to do that. So I tell anybody, respect goes higher than love. You can't love me and don't respect me.
Yeah. So again, another question? It's two questions. Okay, let's try to roll here. All right. I know if y'all good? Y'all good in the comment section? Y'all good? All right.
Tanette says, as a woman learning to see myself, how do I learn to see and support the men of my community?
As a woman learning to see myself, how do I learn to support the men of my community? This is good. So so we're talking about seeing. We have an innate need to see. You know, another word for that see is matter. When you see us, you say we matter. When you see us, you're saying we matter. When they say Black Lives Matter, what they're really saying was, yo, can you see us here? Because when we're talking, do you hear us? Do you understand us? That's what we want. So one of the greatest things that you can do as a woman in this community is to see us, to understand what our role is, and not necessarily, because one of the challenges sometimes is that for some of my sisters, when you get in it to lead it. Okay? Some cases that's necessary. In other cases, when it comes down to a household or a community or whatever, that man is necessary in his role. You need to be in a support role so that you can help him be the best version of him, not a watered down version of you. Okay, can I say this? I don't mean to come at you, here, but sometimes we need you in the passenger seat, but you're uncomfortable being in the passenger seat because you may have never seen it before, and you keep grabbing the steering wheel. When it's for us to drive, honestly, You just have to be okay with taking short trips at first until you get comfortable. But if it is right, then it's not about making sure that they do it or that you do it. It's supporting them, us, to be able to do it like God has intended us to do.
I'm gonna go a little further. One of the greatest things that you can help other, men in your community dealing with supporting them is focusing so much on seeing you.
It's focusing so much
on seeing who you are, your strengths, your weakness. This is where I am.
Oh, so for her to see her.
Absolutely, because now
good.
when she's aware of who she is, now she knows what gifts, what strengths, watch this, that she can support in, but she also knows what she requires.
Let me say
and
this.
what she needs.
Let me say, so you're not a lesser strength because you're in a supporting role. Let me tell you something. When we talk about Jeanette here, when we talk about that project management admin space, let me tell you something. I don't care how strong we are, how powerful we are.
It's a team.
Let that fall through.
Absolutely.
And see what happens. Your strength, you'll be out here looking crazy in these streets because you didn't follow through.
Absolutely.
You didn't do what you said you was going to do.
Absolutely. And even at that, knowing who you are, what you have, and what you need allows you to differentiate between who's in your community. See, I think one of the huge issues with singles, married, whoever, is we hadn't had a lot of time to learn us to see what's compatible. I cannot put gas in a Tesla.
Facts. Which is an electric car for those.
I cannot.
Yeah.
So me going to gas stations and fussing about gas prices are high are irrelevant. If I know who I am and I can fully see me, I'm able to recognize who's compatible with me.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's wrong.
That's right.
I can ride beside a gas car. I can ride beside
there
your
you go.
gas.
Yeah.
I can meet up at certain, but when it comes to feeding me, that's it. I'm gonna go a little further. I've learned in my life to never give seed to anything that's not going to give you fruit. If I work and I plant, I should eat from the garden that I planted.
First commandment, brother.
So if you can't feed me, if I feed you and you can't feed me, that don't work.
How many of us have felt bad because we didn't fit in the situation that was designed for gas because we were actually electric?
Absolutely.
So you're right. You got to know yourself.
And some people are hybrid. So it doesn't take, I think, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to say this statement. The former societal roles of men and women's responsibility are so antiquated.
Sure.
So we're in a new paradigm. We're in a new shift. We got to be willing to see each other and see how we're going to adapt and love and model in this new way. It's a new way of living.
Yeah.
But it takes seeing yourself. This is what I need. This is what I have to give. And when you're able to see that.
And again, how do you see yourself? You see yourself by being around a diverse, by and large, people that can see different perspectives of you and will be able to tell you the truth. Okay, I'm sorry. Not just the truth, but the facts as well, because truth and facts are two different things, and I don't even want to take time to even break that one down. Yeah. But we got another one?
One more. I do one more. Yeah.
Okay.
Willie says, how can you delicately speak when we don't want to hear?
Willie said, say it again.
How can you delicately speak when we don't want to hear?
Now that means Willie a male or female?
Willis Moody.
Oh, Willis. How can you delicately speak? So how does a woman delicately speak when they don't want to hear?
I think maybe, and then maybe you can specify, Willis. I think he's saying like a man when, how can you say it softer when really you don't?
When they don't want to hear us?
It. And I think it touches back. You guys were talking about it a little.
I'm gonna interpret what I heard, and this is important. This is a skill. This is what I heard. Sometimes we don't say this is what I heard.
Yeah.
And we try to have conversations with people without being aware and saying, is this what I heard you say? So, Willis, am I hearing you say this? All right. How do you say something when someone doesn't want to hear it?
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
If that's what you're asking,
that's a great.
This is what I'm about to say.
Great way. Yeah.
I'm going out here. You can never have conception when there's not ovulation. Anything else is recreation.
I have no idea what you just said, but it sounded amazing. My God.
A concept, a conception, conception, a thought, an idea in the mind that is birth, that we agree upon, a conversation. Conception in life of a birth of a child only takes place when seed and ovulation.
Ovulation. Got you.
So therefore, when you're having a conversation with a person, if they're not ovulating in their mind, you're wasting your time. It's just recreation.
Like fertile ground. They're not fertile enough to be able to take.
So you have to learn how to having a conversation when the person doesn't want to hear it is nothing but recreation. It's not going to bring birth. So therefore, we have to understand timing, understand placement, because everyone has a mental ovulation cycle.
I've never heard that before in my
I
life.
know. I just said I told you I'm out here.
But I'm going to say this to you. Sometimes there's some people who you are not the one to deliver the message.
Absolutely.
It's saying you. But if you are the one to deliver the message, and listen to me closely, if you are the one to deliver the message, then sometimes that is a skill set that you got to learn. If they understand English, you speak Spanish, then you got to become bilingual, my brother or my sister. That's a growth curve for you if God has called this person in your life and if he has called you to speak to them. Now, sometimes he may have called you to be in their life in a different area, and you need an Aaron to break down
you just said something.
the message.
You
feel
just
me?
said something.
Moses went to Pharaoh. Moses was called to go to Pharaoh, tell him, let my people go. Moses said, I'm stammering. I can't really do it like that. That's cool. I got Aaron. And Aaron went with him and did the speaking.
Absolutely. And this is why it's important to live your life in the community. Because there's some things go in faith. There's some things you don't say. There's some things you pray.
Whoa.
God can always get the message across. You have to be willing to pray until God releases you to say, or someone else will say.
Yeah.
There's been many times that changes have taken place in people's lives because God put someone else around them to speak. And one thing I do know about God in the Bible, if he can make a donkey speak, he can use anybody to speak. Yeah. And sometimes when it's a situation that is so pressing, you may not need to touch it. But so you can't say, therefore you pray. Somebody may hear something at work. Somebody may hear something on the radio. Someone may hear something in a book. They may be in a grocery store and get a thought. And when God meets them and able to talk to them, then transformation, and now you're ready for reconciliation. Yeah. And the conversation that you thought you need to have is not there. You're now a further step. Yeah. So sometimes you can't say. When you can't say, you don't know how to say, that's a key indicator that the action is pray.
Facts. All right, y'all, we're gonna roll here. We appreciate you so much. Make sure that you like the video, share it with somebody that you know needs to see it and experience it. Make sure you follow us subscribe to this channel, but make sure you go to manupcommunity.org and subscribe there, because when we do this thing live again, yo, DZ.
Yeah, it's about to be off the chain.
It's going to be off the chain, bro, because we're going to have, like, the live element is going to be more than just what we had before.
Right.
We're talking, man, I always wanted, because music is such a big part of my life. Can you imagine? They got the band. You know what I'm saying? Demond, the man, got the Demond on the bass. Man. You got the doggone keys and they rocking D'Angelo's chicken grease.
That D'Angelo this morning had me somewhere in the whole vibe. I was in this morning. I'm like,
hey, yo, and we got to go. But hey, I'm gonna tell you something. We gotta have another party. I don't know if we need to do another White on the Water this year. But this dude right here, let me tell you something.
I love to dance.
Let me tell you something. This dude,
I'm the man of God.
Yeah,
it's sometimes taboo. I promise you, man. I love to dance. So we do gotta create. Y'all gotta create an event where Pastor D can go out and scrub the floor, and the Saints ain't gonna be like I'm in a club.
There you go, man. Hey, we got to pray. Hey, it's important to pray together, but it's also very important to play together, man. If you're working hard, you got to play hard.
You have to play hard.
And that's another piece of it that we have to embrace. We got to embrace rest, and we got to embrace play.
Yep.
Because the reason why some of us are having such tight situations in our relationships and what have you, you don't play. And we take pride in saying that. Hey, I might joke and stuff, but I don't play. You need to play.
Mm-hmm.
You need to rest. You need to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Get back to it, and let's get it done. Hey, don't forget, Emory Healthy Brain Study. We are partnering with them. What I would like to see happen is for the men that are on this live, 50 and above, or if you know some of them that are 50 and above, I want you to call the number. Is it on the screen? Call the number on the screen and inquire about the Emory Healthy Brain Study. I would like them to get. Let's get them 20 to 25 calls this week, because this is a work that has to be done. They've decided to walk with us. We believe in them. We're going to walk with them. Find out what the study entails. Find out how you can be a part of it. I can't do it right now because I'm 49. But when I'm 50, I'm going to be a part of it, and we'll chronicle that whole situation as well. So Emory Healthy Brain Study.
Give them the ages again.
Ages 50 and above.
Yep.
50 and above. So if you 49, 40, below 50, it's a wrap. But they want ages 50 and above to sign up to do the study. It's not one of those things where they injecting something in you and all this kind of stuff. Don't worry about that. This ain't that. So I love you, family. Deezy. Till next time.
It's been a pleasure. Let's do this.
Man up.